Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Adam from the Alpha Project. In this mastermind, we talk about how to generate leads and opportunities in a socially distanced world. A few of us are going through some very challenging times right now, and we explore some of the opportunities that we can find in all of this chaos. So take a listen. I hope you get some great insights out of it. Enjoy. So welcome to the first actual online mastermind meetup. I'm pretty excited. We're pulling this off. Like normal, everyone's given about 10 minutes to carefully present their question that they've crafted for the group. And we encourage you to listen after you ask the question, let the other members help answer those questions for you. And they might ask you questions to clarify those things. And whenever you can, try to add more value, meaning, if you have any resources, tools, contacts, or, expertise that you feel would help any of the other members to answer their particular question, please feel free to share it in the chat box, or if you want to send it to me, I'd be happy to get it to them. This is recorded, so anything that you're sharing, try to make sure it's non-proprietary or it's something that you're comfortable sharing, because it is going to be recorded content. If you want a copy of it, let me know. Happy to share that with you. And we're just going to go around the horn again, do a quick, 10 to 30-second introduction for everyone here, just to acclimate and reintroduce everyone. I think everyone knows everyone here, but let's do it again. We'll start with John, starting the upper left here.
John Pulaski, Palmetto Solar, doing in residential solar projects, replace your electric bill, and about to start a roofing company, coronavirus pending, and I'm from Buffalo Park, Pennsylvania.
Awesome, thanks. Dave, you want to
go? Yeah, hi, my name's Dave, Low Shelter, 3LG Solutions, and I do consulting and leadership training and management training.
Excellent. And Rich.
Hey, Rich Deneen. I do digital marketing, have for about a year and a half now. Still keeping it going during this corona crisis. Doing okay so far. Haven't lost a lot of business, but not all bets are off for getting more, put it that way. All bets are off for getting any new clients, but anyway, that's me.
And Waldo.
Waldo Avila, I have a background in sales and marketing, and I just made a switch to real estate about 2 to 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. See what happens with the real estate market. As long as everyone keeps their job, I think we're all right. But
I already know some people that have been getting layoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, awesome. Thanks for making it, guys. I appreciate you jumping on and coming to the virtual session because we can't go to our normal spot. But I have a little note-taking app open on the left of my screen. So as we talk, I can, throw some notes in there. So I'd encourage you to do the same. If you got anything, you can jot down notes as we go along. But is there anyone that would like to kind of kick off the day, kind of start it off with a question or anything you're looking to present to the group?
I can go, Adam.
Oh, sure. All right, Rich.
Yeah, so I, since we're stuck inside all day and everything, I've been more active in my Facebook groups. And on one Facebook group for restaurant marketing, there was a guy I talked to who has a pretty unique app for the restaurant industry. It's a pretty unique ordering app. It's unique on both sides. It's on the customer side and on the restaurant side. Has benefits for both. And, you know, I'd like to work with him and he'd like to work with me. The hesitation I have is he's in Canada. He is not in the country. That's the real thing. He's not in the country. And so if I partner with him in any way, you know, what are the long-term risks or, you know, downsides to having a partner outside the country? And this could be up to like even like a legal partner, you know, even like some kind of a, you know, part owner. I mean, well, I'm sure I'm not going to be part owner, but you know, I'd pretty much be the marketing arm of the United States. I'd pretty much be his sole contact in the U.S. And it would be, you know, commissioned and everything. It's a nice app, I have to say. But you know, somebody outside the country, you know, laws don't apply. It can get pretty entangled, I guess you could say. So anybody's thoughts about that? And I can give more details as to what, you know, if it matters, I can give more details as to what the app is and what it does. But I don't think it matters. It's just, you know, the bottom line is somebody outside the country. It's a neighbor country. It's a first world country. You know, it's not like Nigeria or anything, but you know, it's one more complication.
Right. Yeah, explain a little bit more what the app does.
Yeah, so this app, it's I could send you guys the video. Actually, it's pretty neat. It lets people order either through Facebook or through a website, and it lets them get a confirmation straight from the manager as to what their delivery is going to be. You know, it's mainly for delivery restaurants. It could be used to reserve a table also, but it's mainly for restaurants that deliver. Not just restaurants. I mean, even like florists can use it. Any company that makes deliveries can use it. But anyway, what you do is you make your order, and then within seconds, you get a confirmation that the order's been received, plus an estimate to delivery, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. And so you're hearing this directly from the manager. It's not like an auto reply. It's not like a bot or something. It's about as good as you can get. It's about as up to date as you can get. It's very easy and slick to order because, you know, Facebook has all your information auto filled. You know, I mean, the form that you make your order, you make your selections for dinner, and all your name, address, telephone number, credit card stuff even is saved. All you do is press, you know, confirm. You got your order, and within seconds, some manager at the restaurant will confirm it and type 20 for 20 minutes, 30 for 30 minutes, you know, however long it could take to get your order. That's the benefits on the customer side. On the restaurant side, I think the main benefit is high throughput. It doesn't tie up your phone lines. It allows people to take orders. You know, they could just queue up. They could just you know, any number of people can use that at the same time. It's not like a phone where only one person can be on the phone making an order. Any number of people can get through and make their orders. I think that's probably the main benefit on the restaurant side. So in a nutshell, that's what it is and what it does. And I don't know how different it is from you know, DoorDash, Grubhub, and all those other apps out there. But it is being integrated to Facebook, I think, is probably its main differentiator.
So how quickly can it get activated with these restaurants?
You can set them up within like a half hour. And he's actually, due to the virus, he's actually waiving the setup fee because a lot of customers or a lot of restaurants are having, you know, I mean, you can't eat in, you know, so all everybody does is take out, you know, all everybody gets delivery and take out. I mean, the phones are ringing off the hook, and it's probably an ideal time to release something like this. You know, it's like, look, you want to cut down on all these phone calls, assuming we can get people to use the app, this is pretty good.
What is the fee? How much is it?
The setup fee would normally be anywhere between $150 and $300, which is, you know, kind of steep. But that's actually where he would make his money, because after that it would just be a pretty small monthly fee, like $1 a day, $30 a month, $1 a day. Pretty small. You know, he's not making his money on the monthly fees. He's making his money on the setup. And after that, I mean, yeah, the monthly fee will be some recurring income. It'll be some recurring revenue, but that's not really the value. That's just more. It's more or less just enough for maintenance. You know, the recurring revenue is more just enough to keep the app updated and pay the developers.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest problem is, does he 100% own all of that code?
You know, he does. I mean, this is somebody who's worked as, like, you know, delivery boy in his youth for a lot of restaurants. He's worked for probably 4 or 5 years on this app, he says. He's definitely just a regular guy. He's not like a serial entrepreneur. He's definitely just a regular guy. He lives in Nova Scotia, Canada, the far eastern end.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know him all that well at this point, but he's definitely got a nice, a slick little app there.
Interesting.
But no, I do not know that he owns it or anything. He's just somebody in a Facebook group that I bumped into, talked to a few times on the phone, and that's it at this point.
What kind of traction does that have in Canada?
He's got his first few use cases. You know, he's got his first few users. He has somebody doing marketing for him in Canada, and he's got his first few use cases, getting his first, like, social proof, and you know, and people to vouch for him. But it's definitely not fully launched yet. It doesn't even have, like, its full name yet. It's you could see the Facebook page. You could see, like I said, I'll send you guys a video of the app, and but it doesn't even have, like, a real name at this point. It's just an app. It's a restaurant, a mobile ordering app for restaurants and any other place that delivers, like florists or you know, anything else that would need to give you a delivery time.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think you're onto something there for sure, because if, you know, the quicker that companies can pivot and go into something like that, the better they're going to be able to come out of this, right?
Well, yeah, I have a lot of confidence that companies or that restaurants would be attracted to it. It's getting the public to start using it is I think the inertia, you know, because I mean, yeah, not everybody uses Facebook, but most people use Facebook. But it's how to get, you know, it's how to spread awareness and get people to start using it.
Right.
Because I mean, a lot of people are on Facebook, and everybody loves those nice little forms where all your info is pre-filled. You know, it's gonna, you know, the first name field would say Adam, the last name field would say Kripke, the phone number field would have your phone number already filled in, and all you have to do is just tap, and, you know, you're through. It doesn't get easier than that.
Right.
But still, you'd have to get people to start using. I mean, I think people are used to like DoorDash, Grubhub, and you know, the other apps out there. I think Slices or something like that. There's easily half a dozen apps for restaurants out there that people want to order through.
Right.
And you've got to, I mean, you could force them. You could just your homepage's order button could just redirect to Facebook automatically. That effectively forces them to do it.
Right.
But haven't worked out all the details yet.
Well, I think your question initially was, how would you partner with this person and protect yourself against partnering with someone that's out of the country, right? So I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not used to working with anybody outside the country. And I mean, if I had to choose one country, it would be Canada, but it's still, it's still different. It's still, what are the risks long term? And, I'm not betting the farm on this or anything like that. I'm not just, it's just something I got into the last couple of weeks due to this lockdown. And, yeah, he's seems like a decent guy so far.
Yeah, I mean, I have some thoughts and ideas, and feel free for anyone else here to chip in. But I think first of all, you want to do some due diligence on the person, on him, and then try to get some testimonials or case studies of people that he's worked with, and the long-term clients that he's been servicing, and how happy are they, and how good is the product. If it's not completely built out, then I would maybe think twice. But, some other options as far as partnering would be if you did like an affiliate relationship where basically you were a separate entity and you just got paid on signups and you're separate from him completely.
That's what it's looking like so far.
You could also license the content from him 100%, so that you now have ownership over the use of that.
Yeah, for the country, for the U.S.
Right, and so you pay him maybe a percentage of signups, or maybe you pay him a flat fee, or you go into some sort of like joint venture agreement with him, where you look at, creating or becoming like an earn-in partner of the company. For example, if he's got 100 people signed up for the software right now, and you bring 100 more, you get 50% of the company at that milestone, right? So over time, you can like earn a percentage of the company.
Yeah, build equity.
But I think that's like a much later stage. But those are the thoughts I had.
Sure.
You could come up with some sort of like, affiliate agreement that you can put in writing as far as payment structure, when he pays, how he pays, what recourse you have, what recourse he has, that kind of thing.
Sure. And even if nothing else comes from this, for me, it's a foot in the door to restaurants.
Yep.
It's a foot in the door to restaurant owners. I could do a few for them. I don't want it to be just a foot in the door. I would like it to, make it pay for me somehow. But yeah, I definitely agree with the ideas you just said.
And you could absolutely add like your stuff as an add-on to his services. You'd be like, if you want the app plus social media, it's this.
Right. Yeah, he's a believer in chatbots. I've built chatbots. He's a believer in chatbots. He said they actually complement his app, and that's another way to partner up.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, guys?
I just would suggest it really depends on how much time this will take or consume. But you need to find a way that you can earn something from the beginning and not put your time to work something for the future. Because once that we start generating money, there can be two outcomes. One is good and one is not good. But you for sure want to do a strategy that if it doesn't work with you guys, you didn't waste your time. And the only way of doing that is making sure that you get some benefit from day one.
That's what I'd like to get, yeah.
So an idea will be having a number, and I think you need to know how much time you will put into this, so you then will know how much money you want to get from that. And you will have to structure depending of your rates, and you will need to make him a proposal where if this starts generating more money, then your price will be less and less and less depending on the volume. But I've seen cases, a lot of these type of cases in where the person that developed either the app or their company or whatever, uh, once that they are successful, they think that they did everything, and they don't want to recognize other people's effort. And so, yeah, I think if you put, you will have to make him the proposal because you're the one that knows how long it will take you, and then based off whatever you value your time, then you can tell him how much money will be and how could you buy it off, because he has also put some work on it already, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, another thought too is, you could do a small trial period as well. So, not 100% diving in the deep end, but do a test with maybe one or two restaurants just to, test out the relationship, test out, the software, so that you're not, committing a whole bunch of time for not a lot of reward.
Yeah, that's something I had in mind too. I actually tried that on last Friday, but I went at the wrong time, and the place I go on Friday gets so swamped because of the dinner rush. I didn't have time to talk about it or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, trial period's a good idea too.
Well, let me know if you want to move forward with that. I'm sure people here might know individuals in that industry. And
yeah, what was the woman? I think the last mastermind we had in person. Yep. What was the woman's name? Amira, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, yep. I thought of her, but hopefully she's alive and well.
Yeah.
With this, I have no idea what happened to people after this virus. I have no idea what they're doing, or yeah. But yeah, definitely. Adam, I'll send you the video in a little while, and if you want, you distribute it or post it somewhere.
Sure. Okay.
It's helpful. But thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Anyone else like to go?
Well, Adam, just basically the elephant in the room is how to do business now that you can't see people face to face. I understand you can set up Zoom calls and those different kind of things, but getting to the point where you're getting, new people and being able to talk to them in this environment is probably where a lot of people are stressed out with.
So you're looking at generating leads for yourself as like, going into roofing or?
Yeah, right now focusing on the solar, because with the roofing, it's not, vital or industry, right? What's that?
Well, I think it was like life sustaining or whatever they were using. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to have to virtually meet and get everything up and running. And then we're not sure if we could do any business unless somebody has an active leak on the roof. So right now I'm focusing my energy on the solar, and then in a couple of weeks we should be hopefully be up and running with the roofing. But in terms of getting business with solar, I think that the promotions are strong. It's just getting the word out and getting opportunity to at least virtually present to people is the thing. And going on paying $130 for a home advisor lead isn't too economical, and that's not something Home Advisors offers anyway. Maybe so. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
Anybody has any ideas?
Man, how many contracts have you done since you started? Do Do you have a list of current clients?
Yeah, I personally, well, no one that's been installed yet because of what's going on. That's basically a 8 to 12 week process between getting the blueprints and permits and everything of those sorts. So reaching out, networking to people that have already been installed would be one of the things that I would do first. However, they're still in the process of waiting to have glass on the roof. So that's not someone that I can turn to right now. But other people in the company, obviously, there's about 5,500 solar installations in Western PA within the past 3 years. So it's not something that people haven't seen. It's still, but for me personally, I can't reach out to those people yet.
Right. I mean, I wonder if there's any way you can capture some data whether or not people are spending on that now. Because it seems like to me, and Rich might be able to comment on this, it seems like people are really holding onto their money and they're not going to be spending on ads on Facebook or Instagram or anything else right now, because they're not going to be nearly as effective, right? People are going to be surrounded with the current problems at hand. Not going to be.
If there was ever a time where I meant all bets are off, it's now. I mean, it's like whatever promise they made you last month, it's just off now. And I'm not saying I blame them. I'm not saying I definitely empathize with them. It's just the way it is. Who knows when things are going to get back to normal. And I know there's a lot of loans and I know there's what was it, $2 trillion stimulus package that just got approved. I mean, I know there's a lot of cash flow coming in, but it's people are still pretty hesitant.
Yeah.
One of the one of the positives about the industry for solar is it's $0 out of pocket, so it's not an initial investment, and it's just taking the money from paying on a utility that you're already paying, whether it's Duquesne Light, West Penn Power, or Penn Power, and replacing that money for a solar payment that's gaining equity on the initial first payment. So it's not a new bill for people, and so that's been able to, a couple of people that I've just been working with since this all went down, to go forward, because some customers I'm actually saving them money from day one, and otherwise other customers it's basically a wash what they're paying now, but at the end of 20 years they're going to own their system and have free electricity for the next however long the system lasts, which typically is anywhere from 35 to 50 years.
So it's almost like a mortgage with no down payment, right? It's almost like,
yep.
It's like, yeah, you just take up a payment and you build equity over time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if that type of strategy will work in this, in this current climate. Like if you can make the argument, I can help you save more money. And, because that's what everyone's thinking about right now, right? Is if you can.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people would be like, well, it's just one more headache that I need to worry about. I'm going to have guys up on my roof and I don't want them like near me, whatever it might be. So I don't know where you would go to collect that information, whether or not stuff is actually converting right now. But, that seems to me like this is the time when Southwest Airlines took over huge market share, when everyone else raised their prices and they lowered their prices.
Right.
So I feel like this is a really good opportunity for someone in your company or your industry, right, to start hoarding contacts or start strategizing on how you can accumulate more market share, and whether that's doing a lot of ads now or or JVing with a lot of other companies that have like kind quality clients, where you can tap into their lists and reach out to them and be like, I know now might not be the right time, but if you're looking to save more money, like here is a way to do it. Reach out to people with, and I think we did it with Dave, right? We did like the wheel where you look at all of the people that are like kind quality buyers that you're looking for, and you reach out to those, like maybe it's an insurance company or a home repair company, and they have an email list, and for every lead that comes into you, you give them 10% or 25% or a flat fee for each lead, and you can tap into thousands of people by reaching out to their email list and getting access, or there's other ways to do that. I've never done it myself, but I know there's ways where you can actually buy the list from them or rent the list. So you can say, I'll give you $150 for your 5,000 people, for like a month or whatever. And you can go and email whatever the heck you want. Or it goes out through them, but that's a thought, JVing with other companies, and that way they already have the trust established with that company. Have you had a chance to reach out to any of the other solar providers around the country and maybe kind of develop your own mastermind, like how to grow together?
Yeah, it's funny, sort of funny, I guess. When you go on to a solar presentation throughout the country, the Zoom filled up. Like they only take so many people on there. So I'm on there clicking, and they're like, Zoom call is full because, I guess on the certain accounts, you can only put so many people on there. So we're going to try that again next week. But, a lot of times these providers, whether it's Zoom or whatever kind of company you're using, there's only so much bandwidth that they allow on these meetings. But there was one last week, and it was full by the time I got in there, and I'm logging on 5 minutes before. I figure it's going to be no problem since I already signed up for it. No. So, but yeah, that is definitely an idea for sure.
Yeah, even, if you look at some of the industries that are thriving in this, coronavirus environment, I know that the people that are refinancing mortgages are doing really well. The interest rates are ridiculously low, and they've been it's been like 87 years since they've been this low. And so like the sell on that one is, are you going to wait another 87 years to refinance your house? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, do it now because it's the time to do it. And then can you, buddy up with, one of those industries and maybe like Adam was saying, kind of almost like a JV. But, some people are thriving. A lot of people obviously are struggling, but there is opportunity. How do you make lemonade out of lemons type of thing? And we have to kind of think that way to really take advantage of what's going on.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, it's the lowest rates we've seen. And if you make it worthwhile for any type of mortgage company out there to partner up with you, and that's just like an add-on that's not going to cost them anything, it saves them money in the long run. And it helps build like rapport with the mortgage company, and it's also creating a USP, a unique selling proposition for the mortgage company when they reach out to these people or when they talk to them. Be like, hey, by the way, we also have a solar program that doesn't cost you anything. We can hook you up with John or whatever, and all of them have email lists.
Right.
So, and you can offer, be like, hey, this might be an incentive for people to refinance as well. If you can roll this into your home or whatever. So that's a good one.
Another thing is, I think that you are focusing a lot on the residential side. And
Yes.
but I think solar in industry started growing even more. Uh, if I was in your shoes, I will also analyze the the industrial part of the business. And I know somebody in Panama that he started with residential and then he jumped to commercial. He was telling me the amount of work that he need to put to make a design for a residential and a commercial is not that much, uh, but the margins that he can get from a commercial is so much more because there are so much bigger plants. And so right now there's a lot, I say that there's a lot of industries that are hurt, but there are a lot of industries that are not. And, there's a lot of incentive from the government. So as you said, I think there's still room uh, to get some customers. It's just a matter of finding the right type of industries in the moment. Like right now, going to a restaurant will be crazy, uh, but to a supermarket, maybe not. Like right now,
Right.
they're making a lot of money. And this guy I'm telling you about, his main customers were supermarkets. And so yeah, don't close the doors to only residential because of what you know, because you might find success or else.
Yeah. And much bigger ticket transactions too. But that's a really good point. Is going commercial, and now they have all this money. They're going to need to put it somewhere.
Pharmacies, supermarkets, anything that people are requiring right now.
Yeah. So if you look at all the providers around for, let's say, supermarkets, for example, and you look at all the companies that interact with supermarkets. So you have commercial HVAC companies, you have commercial plumbing companies, you have commercial cleaning, floor, commercial roofing, even commercial like real estate agents. And you make a list of all of those providers that touch that client you're trying to reach, and you can help facilitate communications to them or get introductions or whatever. Like I was just thinking about commercial real estate agents, for example. Like we're always looking for an excuse to reach back out to our clientele, and make another touch, whether they're buying or not. We got to stay relevant. So it's important to have emails going out that's just like, hey, I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to put this out there. John does solar. This is another way to save money, blah, blah, blah. And if you were to help with some of those communications and maybe even not make it very salesy, but more informational in nature.
Right.
They might be willing to do that. It just gives them another excuse and something that they don't have to type themselves. So.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Let us know how that goes.
Will do.
Dave or Waldo?
Yeah, I can go. I was been thinking about the environment and how with the quarantine and people not meeting each other, and now everything's so virtual, and the whole notion of leadership when it comes to like the virtual world. because if you're working in an establishment together, leading a team, interacting, and now the interaction is remote. It's either by phone, by Zoom, by Skype, you name it, right? Google this, Google that, whatever app you use. And how do you as a leader navigate this environment to be able to be just as effective, but also to make sure that everybody is doing okay with where they are, because the times of stress and anxiety are higher than ever, and the sense of uncertainty is just incredible. When are we going to go? I mean, we talked about when are we going to go back to the way it was? The kids are off school now for the rest of the year. How do you manage that as a parent? The most important leadership role you could have, right? So I just want to kind of throw that out to you guys, because I was just wondering what other people thought about that, and what do we change our behavior? Do we do things differently? Just because it's virtual doesn't mean that we have to do things differently. So I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that.
I feel like a lot of people don't even think about it. When, like, now that you're bringing it up, it's like me putting on this call, like, am I doing everything in my power to maximize this from a virtual perspective, right? And honestly, like, I never even really thought about that, but as you're pointing out, it's like every company is doing some form of virtual management, leadership, training, and they're probably leaving a ton of efficiency on the table. So I feel like there's a massive opportunity, but I don't think people think about it. I don't think people really realize.
It's interesting because right now we're in survival mode. Everybody doesn't know what's going to happen. Everybody's linked to somebody else. So if you have a business and you have employees, and you have to lay those employees off, but then you also have rent or a mortgage on your building. And if you can't pay that, then the person who's the landlord of that building won't get paid. If they don't get paid, then what does the bank say? And it just goes on and on and on. And it's so systemic that it's like, where do you start? And that's kind of what I've been thinking about when I talk to some people. The level of anxiety and stress is off the charts. And how do you what
Dave, you there? You're kind of getting choppy. Yeah, you were cutting up there for a little bit.
Okay.
No, it's back.
I was just saying, what can you control and what we can't, and what do we take a hold of to be able to keep our bearings. It's really a new normal at this point, especially if you have kids and now they're home. Now the technology thing is different for schools. The schools are trying to figure out what to do with that. How do you get the kids educated? Now they can't go back to school. If you're in, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, we're not going back to school. I don't know about other states, but I just heard about a half an hour ago that's something that's is happening. So, how do we handle this in terms of leadership, and how do you manage it?
I think one of the most important things is guiding people, because there's a lot of misinformation. There's too much information that you don't really know what is true and what is not. From how you can be healthy to what will happen to your economy. And I think there's a lot of different key topics that you can give people to self-educate themselves to find some calm. Like for example, the first thing I did was I redid my budget at my house, see all the expenses that I didn't need. I used to have like Amazon Prime and Netflix and Disney Plus. Now I only have one. Like I'm doing a lot of cuts in my expenses, but in order to understand what you need to cut, you need to analyze that information, you know. And then I've seen some articles that have helped me to understand how not to get sick, and like little articles that have helped me to keep calm. I have find like a lot of articles on what I can do with my kids, so they can learn on their own without me having to put too much time. So I found this it's like a deductive teaching thing that they actually love, and they spend hour and a half to 2 hours. So if I have more material, it will be easier for me to handle my time and their time, and my sanity and their sanity. And I think that's what companies should be focusing on now, how to educate their people on the key topics of the things that we're living right now, because we're living a very strange moment. And I think I'm saying that most of the stress comes from anxiety, that you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen to the economy. You don't know what's going to happen to your kids, to your job, to your health, you know. And so if for me, the thing that have helped me the most are key articles in different areas that I have read, because sometimes you're reading so much information that you don't really know what's good and what's not. And so even if the prognostic is bad, if you say, you know what, you're gonna have to be in your house for 1 year, I prefer no, I'm gonna have to be in my house for 1 year, that every 2 months or every 2 weeks somebody tells me like it's gonna be 2 more weeks, you know. And so
Yeah.
information, I think people right now needs the right type of information. So from a leader point of view, and if you can give some of this information to the people, find the right articles for them to read, find the right resources for them to have, it will be very beneficial.
That's really a good point, because when you think about it, it's like, you know, where are we now? But then, are there contingency plans? So, you know, plan A would be this, plan B would be that, plan C. At least you have the ability to have some type of plan. You can guess a little bit, and like you did, you redid your, you know, your household finances, and so, you know, but you know, now you're able to kind of like move on that and take action on it. Otherwise, you could just you know, spend all your money until you're all done, and then what, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a good point. The information is power.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as it relates, Dave, to your line of work, you know, that's something that you do really well, is getting information out there, whether it's in the form of video or article or stuff that's transcribed. Like, this is a really good opportunity for you, I think, to get out there and get this in the hands of people that are leaders, that are leading, you know, virtual anything, and just say, hey, I want to send this out to you. You know, I just see that there's a huge gap in communication when you go virtual, right? So here's how you maximize it. Here's how you get better as a leader when you're doing everything 100% virtual. But, you know, instead of that, I think there's a good, or in addition to that, there's a good ethical opportunity, I think, for you to reach out to companies and say, hey, look, I want to consult you for free because I recognize the need and I believe in your cause or your company. And I want to show you how to be more effective from a virtual position. And you might be able to do like, hey, I'll just do a 2-hour workshop for you and your company, gratis, nothing involved. And it just gets your foot in the door for maybe future business. Or you can say, all I ask is maybe some referrals come out of this in the future, but it's, this is my expertise. This is my way of giving back in the current situation. I feel like there's a lot of that you could probably, not capitalize on, but it's like it's an opportunity in your line of work.
Yeah.
Something to Adam said, I've seen these companies that have been getting some cut pays, but some companies have done it. The more you earn, the higher is your cut. And I think there's going to be an impact also in the future of how people perceive your company depending on how you reacted and how humanly you were. And I've seen other companies that are laying people off, but the people on top are not doing any effort to, also have a loss. And it's gonna look horrible in the eyes of everybody else, saying, you lay off everybody that really needed it, and the people that are making a lot of money didn't. Where other companies are doing the opposite. The people are making the most money are having the higher cuts, and the people in the bottom line that are barely making the end of the month, and they're basically getting the same they used to get. And so there's a lot of ethical issues or ethical topics on what management should do and how it's going to look in the future when this is all over.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It really does show your character does show in the face of adversity,
Yeah, it's actually kind of fun to watch which companies are able to pivot quickly and which ones don't.
Mm.
You see the emails coming through, the ones that are proactive versus the ones that aren't, or the ones that just don't know what to do. Like I see it with a lot of the restaurants near me. Like, obviously you got to start delivering. You got to put, flyers out. You got to stay in business somehow. And we went and picked up Chinese food, and this poor family, I was like, how's business? They're like, oh, we're at like 5% of our usual orders. And I said, would you mind if I shared some ideas with you? Like, if you just go walk around the neighborhood and do like some door hangers or, do a mailer around the neighborhood, like people will buy. We're going around and trying to support the local businesses, but they just didn't know, they don't know what to do. Like they saw that, they're like, oh, that's a great idea. But, they were just such a habit of, not having to think. And it's interesting. And then you see other ones is like what exactly Rich is talking about. Someone signs up for an app tomorrow and they can start doing deliveries.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's super proactive.
Good things about I know everyone here probably likes Napoleon Hill, the Think and Grow Rich. One of his sayings in times of crisis like this, when things are all shooken up, that's when people adopt new paradigms. They because they're forced to. They're forced to get out of their comfort zone and try something different. And that's one upside to it. If there's one upside to it, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, and really to help people think outside the 9 dots. That's when you're so stressed out and you're freaking out, your creativity goes down the drain. So it's really important to kind of help people kind of get through that by giving them something to really kind of stimulate their higher order thinking, so they're able to kind of think in a different paradigm. So yeah, you make a good point, Rich. I agree with that.
It's
Yeah,
something that we have been doing at church, is like before any meeting, we do a check-in, and it's a quick intro of how people are doing, how people are feeling, and you get like everything, a little bit of everything. But I found it very helpful in hearing other people, and so I think it's a very good thing to handle the meetings. And I
Are you
say,
doing that? You doing that all online? Is that?
yeah. Yeah, so in the church we have a group, and it's not like a mass. It's like a different group that we meet once a week, and we do it in person. But now we're doing it online. It's like 10 people total. And but yeah, the check-in and at the beginning of everything gives you a little bit of perspective of what's happening outside of your house, because everybody's so isolated right now that. Yeah, I think there's so much potential for companies to start learning on how to help people or their employees to be more productive in an era that everybody's pretty anxious.
It's also a sharp learning curve too. You don't have a choice. You have to learn quick.
Yes.
And if you don't, then you're kind of left behind, and you're left behind pretty badly. So that's a good point.
Yeah. Waldo, have you got anything today?
No, not really.
Okay. Excellent. I'm all set as well. I don't have anything to share today. Been just playing Mr. School Teacher all day, but that's really it. We can wrap up unless there's anything else that anyone would like to mention, bring up.
How's your podcasting coming along?
It's, well, I was doing it with Dave a little bit. We were doing, starting with the video, and then we can extract the audio and the transcript.
Mm-hmm.
So that could turn right into a podcast. Even this could actually turn right into a podcast.
Exactly, multi-purpose it. You're already here. You're doing this. You can make this a blog post and a podcast, like you were saying before.
Yeah.
And you're already doing the activity. Here it is.
Yeah. I'll actually, this is kind of fun. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can hold on 2 seconds. I'm going to try to, I was on the phone with Dave, and we kind of put together this mind map. And let me see if I can find it amongst all this stuff. It's kind of fun to look at. Here we go. 1 second here. All right, let me know if you can see my my screen.
Yep.
So I don't know if you can see this.
Yep.
So from one video, you can extract the video, you can extract the audio, you can extract the transcription, and then you can even extract pictures from it. And and I'm sure there's more here, but this was just a thought of like all the places where you could put the video for promotion, all the places you could put the audio for promotion. Where can you do the transcription? Where can you put the pictures? And then here's all the things that you would need to set up over on the left-hand side in order for that to function. Like a podcast, or you need a account at rev.com. All your social media accounts, stock photography account, all this kind of stuff. But it was just a kind of a brain dump on all the potential purposes of all the potential uses of doing a video and extracting it all. I'm happy to share this with you guys if anyone wants it.
Sure.
I would like that.
But it's
Yeah,
kind
me
of
too.
fun.
And I can't enlarge it to see it. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind kicking that over to me.
Yeah, yeah. I think I can save a PDF. I'll send it out over email. But if you think about it, if you go and spend time, whether it's on Facebook or just doing a podcast or just doing like a blog post, you can get, in my opinion, I feel like you can get more out of a video than focusing on any one task elsewhere. But I could be wrong.
You're saying that you can get more out of a video because you can do multiple things with the video than just an audio.
Right. Yeah. So if you were just to spend time on producing a podcast, for example, right?
Yeah.
How many ways can you slice and dice and use that podcast? Not nearly this many, right? Or if you were just to do a blog post or write an article, you have the writing, but how many ways can you slice and dice that writing and use it? Maybe only this many ways. For the same time and effort, you can get 4 times the potential content, it seems to me. And then you have the video and all these things up here.
Video's the way to go, and a lot of the popular things are short YouTube videos. People don't want to watch something that's an hour. They want to watch something like it's a minute and a half, and you can always splice and dice it for sure.
Right. So anyway, that was kind of fun, putting that together. Here we go.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Cool. All right, everyone. Well, I appreciate you guys making it out. How did this time work? How did 3:30 work?
I'm with me.
Bad? Would you like it later, earlier?
For me, it's perfect.
Seemed fine. Every day's a new adventure.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to keep it at 3:30 if this works. I mean, I can shift it as needed, but I figured it's kind of like after most of the schooling is done, before dinner. I feel like, it's crazy now in the mornings trying to get everything going.
Yeah.
But yeah, just text me or email me if you want to do a different time. If you want to do if early evening works better, I'm happy to switch it around and test it out. But for the first one, good turnout. The VIP.
All right.
Let me say again, guys, if anyone needs any help with anything, let me know. I'm here to help. I feel like I'm not doing my part for the virus crisis. Everybody else is on the front lines, and I'm hiding at home. So if anybody wants any help, let me know.
Well, yeah, Rich, honestly, to that point, man, you're kind of in the same boat as Dave. It's like you got all of these companies now that are having to go virtual and produce business. You might be able to get your foot in the door with some of these companies. Just be like, hey, I do social media management and promotion. I'm happy to do this, and this for you, pro bono.
Well, that's what I'm offering in my Facebook groups. I'm offering, free ads. I mean, they pay for the ads, and I just, make them and manage them.
Yeah.
Even that is tough because people don't want to. They clam up. There's so much uncertainty that they all I can say is all bets are off. They just don't know what to do.
Yeah, money's flowing somewhere. You just got to find out where it changed to.
Yes, agreed.
It's going somewhere.
Toilet paper.
Yeah, toilet paper. I forget. Someone said, after people die of coronavirus, they're going to be buried in like a house of toilet paper or something. It was something awful.
I thought the other day, Adam, whoever named the company Covidian has got to be really kicking himself right now.
Covidian, yeah.
There's a company called Covidian. I think it's pharmaceutical or something like that. But imagine having that as the name of your company right now.
Yeah, I've heard Corona beer's stock has like plummeted. Like no one's buying Corona beer anymore.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. This time next week.
Thank you.
Have a great
Bye.
one.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. What's up, guys? I hope this episode gave you some fresh new insights and thinking strategies that you can use to help grow your business. If you can't wait until the next episode, please check out my website at alphaproject.us for a ton of free articles and information, completely gratis with no email opt-in required. If you're looking for even more value, I strongly encourage you to sign up for my newsletter. My team and I are constantly looking for new ways to provide you with some killer content, including interviews we might do, stimulating articles, and new business strategies that we may come across along the way. Feel free to share this with any like-minded professionals you may know and that may benefit from some of these strategies shared here. And if you enjoyed this, please leave a comment or a rating as well. We appreciate that. Lastly, if you or anyone you know would like to add a powerful new revenue stream by offering a custom designed mastermind group experience to your current audience, please contact me. That's what I do. I look forward to hearing your stories from implementing any of the creative thinking methods I shared here. Best of luck to you on your journey, and thank you.